Hey everyone, it's the Stacking Cat, and I am back with a brand new video about silver. And today I'm going to talk about what may be the new normal in silver stacking. This has to do with premiums, the current LCS situation, and so on. So if you'd like to hear about that, then please stay tuned.
Stacking Kat.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Stacking Kat channel, where I talk all things silver with a little bit of gold. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly do appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so, and push that notification bell, smash that like button, and leave a comment. That would be awesome. So we are in the middle of April 2020. We all know what's going on across the globe, across the United States and elsewhere. We're in the middle of a public health crisis. And once again, a big shout out and a thanks, big appreciation to all the frontline workers out there, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's other essential businesses, the grocery stores, restaurants, long-haul truckers, farmers, everybody. Big thank you. You're really keeping the country going right now. Can't be more appreciative of that. All right, so I'm going to talk about, with all that in mind, what might be the new normal here when it comes to silver stacking. And of course, it has to do with spot price and premiums and how much we are paying for our silver. We've run into a situation where we are really kind of starting to see the difference between the paper market, which is determined through trading, through shares, much like how the financial stock market works, and kind of the difference or the juxtaposition with the physical silver and bullion market, which us as stackers deal with. And when we see these premiums, we get a little bit weary of it, wondering, is this a price gouging move? And I really don't think it is, and I'll kind of explain why. Of course, we know that the demand is super high. The supply is really low. There's mint closures. The U.S. Mint just had a big problem at their West Point Mint, where they had to close, where I believe they will not be producing any more physical gold. A lot of their silver now is going to be manufactured in Philadelphia. We'll see when that gets going. We'll see what's going on with the Royal Canadian Mint. And so as we kind of get into it, we're starting to see things like maple leaves here are going for, a spot in the mid-15s as of now. Maple leaves are going anywhere from, $21 to $25. I will get on a website, a couple of the online bullion sites here in a bit, and kind of go over what the different prices are. But that is a big issue, and a lot of it has to do with just the lack of production. And of course, American Silver Eagles. I'm really glad I stacked this 2022 when I did. Kind of the biggest gut punch, if you'd like to say, has been with the American Silver Eagle. Just the lack of availability and where to get the actual physical bullion and coins has been a difficult task. Now, there's a couple of theories that go into this. Of course, like I said, the demand, the production, the supply chains, that is all very true. But as stackers, we are kind of creatures of habit. We like to go to our local coin shops, or we like to shop on the online bullion sites. And a lot of times, this is how we kind of derive our stack. Now, many local coin shops are closed across the United States. This has to do with a lot of states, individual states, not deeming them as essential businesses. I'm in California. There are a few shops that are open. My go-to LCS, which is Castro Valley Coins, is currently closed. However, there are some others. Another one closer to me is open only on Mondays and Thursdays for financial dealings only. And they are also a jewelry store. It's a coin and jewelry shop. So they provide things like short-term loans, much like how a pawn shop would. So they're dealing with those type of things. If I wanted to go in and sell any of my coins, like let's say I want to bring in a bunch of Morgans here, they will purchase them. Now, I'm not going to do that, but that is available as an option. But many LCSs just aren't open. There's one in San Francisco, which is a pretty good drive for me. However, they are out of all bullion type items, and they only have really the numismatic stuff. If I wanted an eagle, I'd have to get something like an MS-70 and pay through the roof, because now you're paying numismatic prices above and beyond what any kind of premium or spot price would even dictate. So when we're shopping with online bullion stores, there's one kind of specific silver that we stack here in the United States, which is, of course, the 90%, the pre-1965 coinage, like this Kennedy half dollar here, for example. And a lot of the 64s do retain their silver weight, as this was the only year the Kennedys were out as 90% silver. Therefore, they weren't circulated as much. As I wasn't around back then, but I believe many times people were understanding what the silver ramifications were. Maybe they put them away or whatever it may be. But I like shopping for my 90%, my constitutional junk silver, whatever you'd like to call it, in the LCS, because it gives me an opportunity to go through it all to see what I want. You don't want to get too many slicked out items, which you could find with walkers. If you order it through an online site or whatever, maybe eBay, you may end up with quite a few slicks, which will limit the silver value. And over the long run, if you build up a good amount, let's say 100 ounces worth, you can end up losing ounces of silver that way. So that's one problem. I'm also wondering too, this is kind of a theory I have, and it's just a basic economic principle, is our LCS closures the lack of coin shows, which kind of falls into that same boat as primary retail sources. The demand is there, but the availability of these places just are not, which probably has something to do with the high premiums that we're seeing on the online sites. I mean, they know that a lot of these LCSs are closed. They know their coin shows are going to be limited. eBay is a secondary market item, so I don't think they're too concerned with that. So if you're AppMex or JM Bullion or whomever you may be, SD Bullion, demand is high and your supply is low, but people will pay. Maybe you do raise the premium a little bit. However, I don't think remember their businesses, everyone. They're not doing this maliciously. They want to retain us as customers. They know as stackers, we're here for the long haul. If they really kind of alienate and upset us now, then they might not get our business in the future, which is just not a good business principle to maintain. So I wanted to get into, when I talk about the new normal, what I mean is the disconnect between the paper market and the physical market going to be there kind of for not only the short term, but the long term. So an example of this, the reason why I'm showing this prospector, I bought this at a coin show a few months ago in the beginning of 2020, and the vendors quoted me $20. Spot price, I believe, was $18.50 or $18.30, somewhere in that range at the time. And I said, oh, well, that's a great price. $20, I'm only paying like $1.50, $1.70 over. And he said, well, I sell them for $20 regardless of spot. He said, spot goes down to $15, I'm selling it for $20. If spot is $20, I'm selling it for $20. Now, I didn't get too much into it if it goes higher than that, but I think it really just kind of displays how the retail market is its own thing. And as long-term stackers, it's really our cost per ounce we're looking into over the long haul is more important than the actual, price over or premium that you're paying. When you go back and you look maybe 10, 15 years from now, or maybe 10, 15 years ago. Now, I wasn't stacking 10, 15 years ago, but if you were paying $10 an eagle at the time, and now you could sell these things for $25, that's the most important thing, regardless of where spot is. So, as long-term stackers, always just kind of maintain how much you pay for it, regardless of premium. With these eagles, we may see $10 above spot premiums from here on out. However, most dealers, if you are able to sell to them, will pay you much higher than spot. And then some places in the past when spot was more in accordance or in line with what the retail market was, would charge $1 or $2 over. A lot of these dealers, when spot was more in line with where the retail market was, would give you maybe $1 or $2, depending where it was, over for an American Silver Eagle if you go to sell it back to them. If you want to liquefy your stack, they might give you that little bonus. So you go in there with, a tube of Eagles here, and they might throw you $20 to $40, somewhere in that range, over. Now, $40, $2 over would probably be best case scenario. However, now they'll probably, I haven't tested this out, but if you go on some of these websites, you could see what they'll pay for it. Money Metals Exchange will do that. And they have offers where they'll buy these Eagles back for you for over $20. So they're paying $5 over spot too, knowing the demand is there. Their supply is the most important thing. So they'll pay what they can to make that money back because they know that they'll be able to sell it. All right, so I'm going to get onto a few websites here and we'll check and see what the prices of different coins and rounds are and how they kind of compare, and just, are premiums a thing of the past? Is there almost going to be kind of a set price for different silver items? So let's talk about that. So I'm here on a JM Bullion site. As you can see, silver is $15.35. This is as of April 17th, 2020. Let's go and check out some in-stock silver. The American Silver Eagles at $25.24 a piece. However, remember, this is if you buy, I believe, 3 monster boxes. It's for $1,500 plus. And if you want to just get one, we're talking $26.19, or a tube, we're talking $25.89, which is still well over $10 in premiums. And a lot of this, remember, is just based on supply. What we're dealing with right now, we see the mint shortages and the shutdowns of the U.S. mint, and this has to do with silver as well as gold, and the prices are reflecting that. This is a case where the paper price is far different than the actual physical price, something we always have to remember to start taking into consideration. So now let's take a look at some other stuff. Let's go to the 1 ounce generic rounds. This looks like the Silvertown design of varied designs. We have $18.54 for 500 plus, or $19.44 for 1. So again, you're paying a little over $4 spot for this. Of course, that spot price represents a monster box full, which not a lot of us are able to obtain really at any point. So, you're going to be paying over $4 spot. This is an item that's generally $1 at most over spot. You'll find deals and sales at 49 cents to 69 cents usually. And a lot of times you'll find this stuff at spot, especially at a coin shop where they're just trying to get rid of their inventory as well. So let's go to a different site. We'll go to Provident Metals and see exactly what they have. And it looks like it goes right to their deals page. Oh, they got these 2020 Nui Athena Owl stackables as low as $18.34. So, of course, that's probably for a monster. No, that's for all of them. That's a good deal right there. $18.34, $2.99 over spot. This is a silver ounce. It's backed up by a sovereign mint, the Nui Mint, or the country of New Zealand. Kind of oversees the island of Nui in this regard. So that's a pretty good deal. $18.34, it's cheaper than the generic rounds that we saw in JM Bullion. And it has that bonus, like I said, of a sovereign mint. Now, generally, these are maybe $1.49 over spot. And of course, just the demand and the supply of everything is increasing the price. But then it goes again to, what is the new normal here? If Eagles are $25 and these are $18, where are you going to stack? the eagle is what you want, or a maple. However, if you're going to get a coin that's backed by a sovereign mint at this price, then it might be worth getting. I mean, that's a phenomenal value right there. Now, I've always liked these, and maybe I'll just have to go ahead and grab some. Looks like a pretty good deal. Might be too good to pass up. Let's see what else they have. Let's go to... Let's see here. What do we want to look at? How about some junk silver? Let's go to some 90% and see what the deals are with this. Okay, it looks like $10 face for $159.72. Of course, that's $15.97 per face, which is not that great of a deal, considering in the past when spot was maybe at 17 or so, I'd pay around $12.50 to $13 face. And if we want to calculate exactly what face is, you're going to multiply the current spot price by 0.715, which is kind of the universally accepted number for what the value or the ounce value is of constitutional silver. So let's bring up the calculator and see exactly what this is. Okay, so let's type it in, the spot price, which is $15.35, and multiply it by 0.715. So $10.97 is what we're looking at, is what the price per ounce is, so roughly $11. So this is about $4.50 over spot. More than that, actually, $5 over spot. And I don't know, that's pretty high for me. Now, remember, constitutional silver is definitely a foundational piece. It's something you want in your stack, I'd say more than anything other than maybe eagles or maples. And just because, it's backed up by the U.S. Mint, it's been in circulation for, in a lot of cases, over 100 years, and it has just that intrinsic value of silver, recognizability, and everything else that just goes along with it. A lot of times when you go to sell it, you'll get paid right at spot, usually by the dealers. Really not too much wiggle room around that. However, like I said, you usually pay, like $1 over spot, maybe at the most, $1 or $2. So it's just something really to take into consideration when you purchase junk silver. And just another sign of the new normal. Is this the way it is now? These LCSs are probably going to be closed for a long time. So I'm going to go to Money Metals Exchange here, and the reason for that is because they will show the prices that they will pay if you want to sell any of your silver back to them. A lot of these other sites require you to call them to kind of set something up. So I'm going to go to Eagles, American Silver Eagles, and see exactly what they will pay back for it. Looks like they're selling them for as low as $24.30. Of course, that's just kind of a way to get you in. They're selling the individual ones for a lot higher than that. And not too much, only $24.90, so that's not bad. All right, what am I trying to get to here? Right, sell to us price, $19.66 each, so roughly $20 that they'll pay, which, of course, this is a little over $4 more than spot. So the only problem with this, though, is when you're dealing with an online dealer, is that you have to package and ship all of your silver to them yourself. And if you're going to sell a good amount, let's say you're going to sell like 100 ounces or whatever, that's going to cost you a lot of money in shipping. So that's going to go against any type of profit you may make. But I think this does kind of give a little guide into what you can expect from your local coin shops when they do reopen, or if there's a way for you to sell anything. Like I said earlier, one of the coin shops I go to is just doing financial dealings only. And of course, you don't have to pay that shipping cost in that case. But this might give kind of a rough estimate as where a lot of these people might pay you, and or at least some bargaining power, some negotiating power you might have with them if it comes down to that. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Sorry if it went a little long. I know I'm at the 20-minute mark here, but I hope that you enjoyed it. And I just wanted to present a little bit of what I think about what our new normal as silver stackers are going to be, just what we're facing and how the future may look. So if you'd like to see more videos like this one about silver, then please consider subscribing and pushing that notification bell. Smash that like button and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, if you agree with me, if there's something totally different that you think. I'd love to hear it. And until next time, this is the Stacking Cat.